Hello, welcome to the Astana Music Artist Spotlight. I'm your host, Jay Menez. Today's guest is very special to the Astana family. For over 4 decades, she's been, well, let's say the secret weapon to the entertainment industry, law enforcement, world leaders, and major financial institutions. She's the world-renowned psychic who we've seen on David Letterman, Entertainment, and ETV, and featured in Vogue, Redbook, and Glamour magazines. Her individual client list reads like a who's who in music, film, and TV. Talent like George Brown of Kool and the Gang, Vanessa Williams, Goldie Hawn, and many more you know who just can't be named. And now we're going to get a glimpse into exactly what she does that makes her so effective and in demand, and how you can tap into your own psychic abilities. So let's go there now. Enjoy. Thank you, Maria, for joining us.
Oh, I love it.
I love it too.
Because you're a lot of fun and down to earth.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I don't have to, I just gonna be me.
All right. You're self-described as an intuitive consultant, and you're a psychic with spiritual healing abilities.
Do you believe everything you read? Okay.
No, I don't. That's why I'm going to ask you about it.
Okay.
I'm not familiar at all with that field. Can you describe that for me and tell me how you started to develop these abilities?
Well, I am a practicing psychic since 1974. And I had gone in 1971, I believe, 71. I had gone to a beautiful, wonderful lady here in the city, in Venice, and who was a psychic, and I was studying psychology at the time and waitressing with kids. And but I wanted to know if the boyfriend was going to call. So one of my coworkers said, you know, the psychic, and I said, well, what, $35? My God. But I'll do it to go and see if, you know, he was going to call. Well, she said, well, Maria, you know, I see this this cake without frosting. I said, what does that mean? He says, well, it's a psychic symbol. It means that it doesn't jive. You know, you and this guy say, oh, my God, you know. But she told me other amazing things that my mother, who was deceased, was offering this. She told me things that they were right on, like names and so forth. So, and then at the end she says, I know you're not very happy about this, but she says, you're very psychic. I said, haha, but is he going to call? That was my question. So she says, you know, come in 2 weeks and I will exchange a psychic reading. I started laughing. I said, what do you mean exchange? She said, you read me, I read you. I said, yeah, right, you know. But I wanted to know if he was going to call. And so it was a deal. And I discovered that what I thought natural, which it is, by the way, every single person on earth is psychic. In Greek, the word psyche means soul. So you have a psyche, you're psychic. It's just that some people are more than others. It's like the voice. If someone sings, well, people who sing rather, some of them are on stage, but some in the shower, but we cannot sing. So the same thing with the psychic ability. So the idea is to become aware of it, and that's where I come in. I raise awareness, as she did with me, and she did psychometry, which in Greek means picking up vibrations from an object. She gave me something to hold, and I said, well, I see so-and-so, this a man that I described. I said, but I'm making it up. She says, it's fine. I'm making it up. I said, well, let's make him Irish and let's make him a Gemini. And I think more drama, excitement. I said, she said to me, make it up. I said, I think he's got a Gemini sibling also. And in that case, let's make the sibling has an issue, has an undeveloped organ in their body. And I said F as in Frank or something like that. And then I thought, no, F as in Floyd, because Floyd was such a weird name to me. And so it went on for an eternity, 4 minutes. And finally, I wasn't making it up anymore. And I'm sharing this so people can relate to their own abilities that maybe they have ignored. And then when I was making up a story, I was not making a story anymore. Real fast, though it was going fast. I found myself in a large room that I knew it was an add-on or a conversion from a garage to room added on to a house, low ceiling, and it was like I had issues focusing my attention in that room, as if there was something wrong with my eyes, and very real. And then I saw a cane leaning against the wall, a white cane, and I knew that it was. I kept going. I knew there was a young woman with the J initial, 24 years old, and she was in denial about she had been just pronounced legally blind, and she was in denial, and because a legally blind person can kind of hazily sense, kind of outline things. And I said that a pet would be instrumental for her to pick up the cane. And that was it. Then all of a sudden I came back. I don't know, to where I was making fun earlier, it was like, and all of a sudden I was someplace that I did not recognize. It was weird. And so the woman confirmed there was someone named Floyd, Irish, red hair and all, that was interested in her, and they were doing all kinds of things together, work-wise, and some more juicy things, because neither one of them was available. So, and then her daughter-in-law, Judith with a J, had just been declared legally blind, and that's why they had built a room for them. So that is how I became aware. And first television show I did, I said, well, they said, but Maria, you're so psychic. I said, well, isn't everybody? I did not know the difference, really. So, but I wouldn't, she said, Maria, you have to work, you have to share this talent. I said, oh, please spare me. And I wouldn't. And it took a long time for me. I had a salon of beauty at the time, while, like I said, I was in college and wanted to be a psychologist, and dealing with 3 hours of sleep for about 6.5 years. And so it's like, once I knew what I could do, and she had meditation classes, and I went to, the person who discovered me, I went to her meditation classes, and once I could do, like I would touch the people doing the makeup or something, and I would say, oh, what about Robert? She says, oh, this, that. She says, but I never told you about Robert. So, and then people from the class that I was going to 2 years later, because we practiced in a class, and they just kept coming and said, the lady who had discovered me says, she said, if we don't pay you, what you tell us is not going to come to pass. I said, okay. So in a month's time, I sold in my place of business, and that was March of '74.
Wow.
I know I told you a long story. You can take whatever it is that you want from it, but so I raise awareness because people are psychic. A lot of them are afraid, and once you get in tune with that ability within you, because you have it. I do not make anyone psychic. I point out to them that they are when I do my workshops, and you can use it for everyday living. And trust me, you're going to get more mileage out of life that way. And we all use it. Think of the times that we say, my hunch tells me, or my gut tells me. What is this gut? Do you know what I mean? It's your psychic ability. People are so afraid to use the word psychic, say intuitive and so forth. Well, it's the same thing. You use your intuition psychically.
Yeah, I was going to say that I would describe that as intuition, and it's
so you're
it's
intuitive.
come up many times. Is there a difference, or are they
Absolutely
exactly the
not.
same?
Intuition comes from where? It comes, from your soul. Every single person on earth is psychic.
I see.
Okay?
I see.
And I encourage everyone to start tuning in and think of how many times people would say, I knew it. Well, how did you know it? How many times in your life have you said, I knew it?
Many.
Okay. How did you know it?
I would call that intuition.
That's right, but you didn't trust it. That is why the exclamation once it materializes, say, oh, I knew it. But the moment you sensed it, you did not know it. You didn't say, oh my God, I better, think of this file, this, whatever, because that's what's going to happen. But if you get psychic training, you will learn immediately to discern what it is that is intuitive and what it is that comes from your thoughts.
That was my next question. How do we tell the
You're
difference?
psychic, so you're interested. Practice. Training and practice. I can train you in 3 hours.
Yeah, so tell me about that. You do a workshop around that.
That's right. Psychic development for everyday living.
Tell me more.
People come in, I lead them, I explain to them how it works, what I just shared with you, how we're all psychic and so forth, and talk a lot about the power of the subconscious mind, which, by the way, there's an amazing book, my Bible, by Dr. Joseph Murphy, that's called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, which I urge everyone to get a used copy, old if possible. And
Is it out of print?
no, but it's been a little tweaked as if it's been returned. Yeah, I get an old one. And you read us all. Do you know what I mean? You read the part of your subconscious mind, you will say, Maria, you were right, And so I talk a lot to people in my workshops as to how they create their own reality, because we do. We create our own reality through word, action, thought, because the subconscious does not know right from wrong, nor does it have a sense of humor. When you say, oh my God, I can't stand this, after a while you're going to have issues. It takes 22 days to develop a pattern in your mind. And so then you're going to have issues with your feet and or your knees because you ask for it. Every word, every thought are prayers.
I do believe that we create our own reality, but what do you mean by it doesn't have a sense of humor?
Your subconscious does not know right from wrong, nor does it have a sense of humor. It's a mechanism. People say that that is what was the model for the computer. The computer does not know right from wrong. If you're looking at this and you're describing what's in the room and you call it a plant, the printer is not going to correct it. It's going to print plant. It's not going to say, oh my God, but he meant to say cup. That's how it works. Your subconscious is a functioning of your mind that is on as you drift, as you meditate, as you drift off asleep. First, in the evening, that's why what you do is affirm your prayers. And when you first wake up, when you're still there. So that's when you're alpha wavelength, and that's why we reproduce with meditation, which comes to my other functioning in the spiritual realm.
It's very funny because as you're speaking, it brings up follow-up questions for me, and it's like the moment I think of, okay, this is what I want to talk to her next, you bring it up. Like I was just thinking meditation.
And this is not the only thing. When you are in my workshops and I lead meditation, and I'd like you to please close your eyes and so forth. And then I take you through certain areas, right? Usually you'll be ahead of me. It's mind expanding. I mean, it's like people are kind of shy to say, come on, share it. He says, Maria, I knew exactly what you're going to say next. They've never seen me before. That's how psychic we all are. And of course, before I take you through to that part of the workshop about doing an actual psychic reading, I do the meditation. So that helps tune in. And with so many people around, the energy is very strong.
Your workshop sounds really fascinating.
That's what I've been doing when I've been speaking to you.
Exactly. What is it? So it's called psychic development for everyday
day living.
Everyday living. So can you give me an example of how we apply that to our everyday living?
The fact that you can discern, again, that it's an intuitive element and not your own thoughts. It helps you, the meditation helps you not to pick up things from other people and misinterpret them for your desires. So that right there, it helps, eliminates room for mistakes by us.
Right. So it filters out all the noise.
Thank you. Exactly. So, and after practice does it better. So after a while, you just know.
I got it.
You know, you come to the workshop and you open up and it's great. If you do not practice, you're going to go, practice, you learn how to do it. So practice with friends, practice with yourself. In psychic energy, does not consist of predictions alone. It's the energy that we use to create a reality with. I do believe in God wholeheartedly, the old-fashioned God, sitting in a cloud and so forth. I'm open to all other gods, philosophies. I'm just trying to get into Buddhism. However, I've studied at the Judaic University of Bel Air here with Rabbi Fisher. At times, I'm Greek Orthodox. I'm open to all of it. And I practice metaphysics for religion. Do you know what I mean? So, but after a while, you see it's all one. Prayer is super important. We need to be cautious what comes of our mouths. That's what you learn, and what our thoughts are, because they create. I don't know if I answered your question, because I can take off and go to this subject and that subject.
Yeah, we could talk forever here because I'm just so fascinated.
Thank you.
And you're right. I agree that it's not only our thoughts, but it's the words that we say, the way we
They
speak
create.
to ourselves that create this reality, right?
And you cannot take them back. In Greek, they say the tongue does not have bones, but it cracks bones. Things that we say.
Yeah. So going back, we had talked about how you discovered this ability when you were in your 20s and you were seeking advice about this man who would text you or call you.
Why else do you go to a psychic? That's what I thought at that time.
Of course. What I'm wondering is if this is generational, because I understand that you had family members who had the same ability.
Yes. Maybe I'm not clear on that. I thought of it at times because again, I'm a believer that it could be that we all have all kinds of talents. However, I'm also the same person that said some are more than others. So I don't know, it could be. You're very psychic. I told you when I came to the room. You did not know it, or maybe you did. However, you started picking up what it is I was going to say ahead of time.
Yes, that's uncanny. I haven't even been to your workshop yet, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Oh, well, we're going to manage to I'm going to have one in New York, and sometime after that, a month or so maybe in LA, and Dallas, and in Greece, and in Berlin, and so forth.
Oh, that's great. So do you ever have people come to the workshop and not experience dramatic transformation?
Seldom. That's the ones that very seldom. In meditation, everybody melts. Because what it is, I presented it the way it should be, simple, that everybody has had an experience or another. And usually, when I go around the workshop, they'll say, oh yeah, so tell me, share an experience you have had. So they'll say, well, when my grandmother died, I heard this noise. Everybody relates this, and that's why people are afraid of the psychic realm, some of them, because they think you're going to predict death. And that's the last thing that can be predicted. Because as I started saying earlier, I do believe in God wholeheartedly. And I also believe, though, that God gives us free will and choice. And that's one area that God will not interfere. he may show us with wrath at times, with words and everything, but our free will and choice. So, for the most part, we create our own reality. We have the tools. So, but people are afraid, and you can see it when I go around the room and ask them to share psychic instances that they experienced. They'll talk about death. When my so and so died, when my so and so died, when my so and so died. Do you know what I'm saying? It's really interesting to see that, because that's how quite a few people, that is what they think that the predictions are. Well, not anymore now. Younger people, they're going to know about all kinds of things. And the funny part, there's so many things that happen. Usually we say, oh my God, health is the most important thing. That's such a lie. They want to know about career first when they come to see me, especially women. Career. After 40, they want to know if they get in vitro and it's going to work to have babies. Men want to know about the girlfriends, the sports. Japanese men, when I worked in Japan, lived in Japan, it was like they want to know who they're going to marry. If they're going to marry, they want to marry. So to have somebody to take care of their parents when they're old, because in Japan, you I don't know where you come from, what happens on other places on earth, but you need to make sure that somebody's married that will take care of the parents, later on. But nobody asks about health in any country, anywhere that I work, only if they're sick.
Really, that's fascinating. Mm-hmm. Even in the United States, where health has become such.
At the end, no, nobody asks about health. Nobody. Because they're healthy, they don't ask about health. Like, well, I never know what's going to come up or in a private session and or the workshop. I mean, I have a system to what I take people through, but there's so many people and all kinds of things come up. People can take this workshop, Jay, for 30 years. If I take the basic one, it's new every single time. It's different.
I see. So you have a lot of repeat attendees?
Oh my God, yes. And the meditation is what gets everybody. And especially, George Brown's music, it really does it. I mean, I've worked with other people. There's also one in Greece that I like, that I do meditations with. But with George, it's been year after year after year after year after year. And it is amazing. I wonder, do you tell people where to go and find my meditations?
Yes, at the end of the show. And we'll put it in the show notes also, so that people know where to find you.
I've been so blessed to be friends with Vanessa Williams, and she's so generous and super psychic. And see how amazing she sounds in meditation. People know her as being a great talent and a singer and a dancer and an actress and all that. And then when you listen to her voice in meditation, it even makes me go under.
Well, aside from your clientele that includes banks and law enforcement, et cetera, you have a very big clientele in the entertainment industry.
Yes, I do.
What is it about what you do that attracts these people, that makes them so devoted to you?
Oh, they're not devoted. I don't have devotees. However, people in arts, they're more open. That's what it is. They dare. Do you know what I'm saying? And people in the arts, so the majority, are more spiritual than anybody else I know. We all are, but they've gotten it already. And that's why they have success, if you call it success, in their lives, because they do the work. Especially in Los Angeles, so in other places in the world too, they're so conscientious. We were meditating and doing right and eating right. It all helps. They're much more aware. They've gotten over some of the taboos of society. And generally, people in entertainment that is so instrumental in our progress, because people, by liking them, they say, well, let me do what they do. You know what I mean? Either eat right or whatever have you.
What are some of the tangible results that people get from working with you?
Ask them. Seriously. I do the work and I don't store it. I don't make a mental file for it. I see thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and people are the same. You know, some the psychic realm is unpredictable. And I may say something that will say, oh, in a month that's what's going to happen. But I tell the person, don't believe it because I'm not in charge of timing. And this may materialize a year later or 10. And I can tell you, well, when you grow up and you're going to be 30 or 40, or this is going to happen, and it can happen in a month or in a year. And the reason for that is the psychic realm is unpredictable. Psychic timing is different than their timing. The other is that maybe I was wrong. However, the biggest thing is the person, the receiver of the reading, because I predict choices. And I say, well, if you drop this married man, in October, you're going to meet so and so and so and so and so, as an example. Or this unavailable person in your life. And sometimes I say, well, Maria, I did not meet so and so. I say, well, did you stop that situation? You had to make a choice here. Usually I predict choices with the detail, though, with names or birth signs or whatever, say, with events. And the person gets excited and they forget the fact that they have to make some choices to let go of certain things before the new happens. And we don't pray, we don't meditate, and we expect miracles. You know, it doesn't work that way. We need to do the work.
We were talking about developing our own psychic ability as a constant practice, maybe a daily practice that involves meditation. Is that part of it?
Meditation is the key.
That is the key.
Because we all meditate and we don't know it. We meditate when we get absent-minded, when we're driving like this, or you better watch it though, on the road. Especially we get absent-minded. You know, we get those spaces like this. So when you're thinking nothing, well, that's when you get to the alpha wavelength. Like before you go to sleep, turn the TV off. Do not go with the TV on, because then you will take in, when you're at that tender place of the alpha wavelength, that you're like this, and all that will become your reality. You take it in.
I see.
Yeah, so it's like turn that thing off and read something that you've written with your affirmations. Write it with the I am and I have. You know, I am wealthy or I have wealth. I am healthy, I have great health. And then things you want to have, you just write. I am allowing this to come in, and I am attracting what is ideal for me. So the words are very few. Allowing, attracting, and the most important thing in life, though, which you do in meditation, is gratitude. You have no gratitude.
Oh, I agree.
All your success is short-lived.
So how do we practice that?
How about you just start itemizing your blessings? Simple, eh?
Yes.
Nothing happens without God, you know. Whatever God people believe in, what is God? What do you believe in? What you hold dear? And could be philosophy, could be, I don't know what's for other people. And but gratitude. Thank everyone for everything. Yeah.
We had touched on a couple things that we could do to develop our own psychic abilities. First is the meditation and the idea that you don't want to fall asleep listening to something that you don't want stored in your subconscious.
You don't want to drift asleep. If you fall, see, the people who fall asleep, the people who fall in love, it's so negative. The reason they can't get out of a better relationship because they fell, they have to get well first. We walk into love. We don't fall asleep. Yeah. I already gave you an example earlier. People who preface with a no. No, Maria, you're right. No, it's going to rain. everything's negative in their lives. Um, the the psychic realm is very important. Meditation is much more important, because meditation, prayer, it will help you again discern what is for you, what isn't. If there is such a thing as right or wrong, I don't go with that, but I'm going to make my point. Meditation will help you do that. Meditation will heal you. And so what I say, every word is a prayer, every thought is a prayer. But also the traditional prayer, to where we get in tune with the higher energy. What you do in meditation for those 20 minutes, an hour, half an hour, 5 minutes, you align yourself with spiritual energy. That's what's important. And we're so busy, such busy people will go back and forth, and some people say, oh, I cannot meditate. Yes, you can. And then the minute George gets on the piano, and then I start, and I'd like you to please close your eyes, and then George again, and or if Vanessa starts, and then she just echoes things or comes up with her own stuff, and then you're gone. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. You rest. It rejuvenates you.
Yes.
It gets you into a better space in your head. It cleans up. We keep amassing so much negativity. How many times you hear people saying, I hear it, oh, Maria, I have this book that won't come out. I have this song inside of me that won't come out. I said, well, clean up. Well, what do you mean? I said, meditate, pray, write in your journal and get all those things out. Write in your journal, release all that, make room for new programming, reprogram yourself. And then they do it once. I said, it's not just doing it once. You're do it all the time.
Seems like something that, like you said, several times a day.
Well, do you brush your teeth every day, I hope?
Of course.
Morning and night?
Yes.
Okay, there it goes. Same thing.
Are you saying that's meditation?
No, but that's a great habit.
Yes.
Essential.
So you just make meditation a habit.
Your great teeth over there. Do you know
Thank you. Great dentist.
Yeah, but you took care of that?
Of course, yes.
So how about you go to the Astana Music YouTube channel and write meditation, and I'm pretty sure, and if you remember my name, put my name, or Vanessa's name, George's name, whatever's name, and there is a lot of meditations available.
Yes, there is.
About all, which ones, obviously you went there, which titles appeal to you?
You had asked me to look at one that's called Global Consciousness.
Yes, because I wanted you to listen to Vanessa's voice, how great she sounds, how great we sound together.
Yes. So you've been working with Vanessa for 2 decades?
We're friends since 91 or 92, something like this. And we're planning to do much more than we have right now.
And you said that she's got great psychic ability.
Oh my God, of course. Of course. And plus she's a Pisces, and the water signs become aware of their ability faster than some other birth signs, but everybody, like I said, is psychic. But those Pisceans, they're so talented in everything. Sometimes I said, okay, God. But we have all kinds of things in our charts. Yeah. But what I'm saying here today is meditation is essential to the quality of our living. And we can, meditate, pray, be kind, be generous, be grateful, and you got it made.
Yeah. Well, these are all values that really just make a better human being.
Mm-hmm. And attract to you the best. And if we learn how to embrace everything and see it as what I usually say in the workshops also, and I mean it and practice it, Jay, is that if something comes up not to our liking, let's see it as an adventure. Adventure.
Yeah.
Have you ever meditated?
Yes.
What kind of meditation do you do?
Just quieting the mind and
Okay. Well, if you just structured meditation will help you get deeper. What I mean structured, I want to clarify that it did not come out the way I wanted it to, but must be a reason for it. In most schools of thought about meditation, people think that they have to concentrate. Absolutely not. On the contrary, that's not what I want. When the person tells me I have a song that it won't come out, I say, clean this up, go to your filing system, the filing system of your unconscious mind, and get all the trivia to get out. So when you're in meditation, you may get an unwanted thought the moment other than what it is you're instructed that someone is taking you through. When I say, I'd like you to experience the light in your shoulders and visualize the color blue. The moment you may think, oh my God, a dog. Oh, no, I don't have a dog. Oh no, that dog was David's dog, my friend, who was 10 years old. And now, on a conscious level, you didn't remember that thought, but it was stored in there. So instead of trying that moment to do away with that, so I got to concentrate, because, like I said, schools of thought of meditation, sometimes they say concentrate. That is not the right thing at all. On the contrary, let it pass. Honor the thought that you did not ask for to come. So that's interesting, yeah. And think what that thought brings in, how nice it was at that time when you were doing that. And if it's a negative thought, something negative that happened to you, you just see it in a different light and release it. Do not let it go back into the filing system. Because we keep getting trivia in there anyway, but just walking in here, see so many things and you get programmed.
so how do we let it go?
Well, in meditation, you just let it pass if it comes. But the best thing is one of the good things to do is if you don't understand why something is happening to you, you just write it in your journal. And the truth will come out. And please, please, please go to your therapist. Please, they're amazing people. We'll go to our friends, we go here and there, but let's go to a professional person, and then let's go within also. And that's the meditation that I'm saying. But they're amazing, amazing, amazing therapists in this world. Amazing, that will help us clear up things and let go and progress.
Are there people who try to use psychic therapy as opposed to
Absolutely.
regular therapy?
No, usually they're both. Usually they do both. And actually, I have amazing therapists in both coasts that they refer people to me. Dr. Jen Berlin here, he's an amazing, one of the most amazing psychologists that I have met, and then some. And he did a study at UCLA for his dissertation that I was used at. We're great friends. And yeah, he does refer to me. And I have Dr. Jane Greer in New York and Mark Snowman. They do the same. We're all close. Therapists, a lot of therapists. There are many others that many that they refer people to me, and I refer people to them.
Why do you think people are so skeptical of psychic ability?
Not the way it has been presented. It has such a long history. The psychics were bad because they were burned at stake at the time. I don't know. My advice to you is meditate more. Sometimes you have a question like this, write it down, you'll get an answer.
I see.
Yeah. Wherever there's a question, there's an answer. And usually the answer is within you. When there's a problem, trust me, you have the solution.
Yeah.
If you have problem within, you also have the solution. Get it out, write, meditate, and or just straight write in your journal. Go to your therapist. Usually you're the solution.
You'd mentioned a study with UCLA that happened, and as a result of that, they actually started referring people
Yeah.
over to you.
Yes, things like a film was to be made, people will go and ask who the psychic is, or a film. I've worked on film, and that was when, of course, the last when the mother of parapsychology, Dr. Thelma Moss, who was here with us, and the whole community film, all of it, the law enforcement have been very generous and kind to me. There are people in law enforcement that they sign up with the name and say yes. It's all the way back to the hillside strangler here in LA. They would ask me things, and then at the end, they have to do this. Not the cops, the other. How did you know? I said, oh, please spare me. So it's fun. It's fun.
So how did you help them with that case?
Oh, just by describing the person who that been read up on it. It's in print. There were two guys and grease monkeys, and that also. And
Wow, impressive. Good for you.
yes.
So where do we find out more about your workshop and what you do, Maria?
Well, where do you find out? Well, first of all, I'm social media. However, I have a website, mpapapetros.com.
Are you active on social media?
Yes, of course.
And that's Maria Papapetros.
With my name in Instagram, and I do follow people back, by the way, to my best ability.
So you actually engage on the comments and
Yes,
everything?
and yes, if there are comments. If there's no comment, sometimes I.
Do people ask you for readings through?
Oh my God! And I tell them that's when I back off, and I said, listen, I have I'm listed everywhere. You can call the office, you can email, and we can work with you. But when people write to me, it's okay. Sometimes they write, where can I find you? So we tell them. But when they start asking their questions, I said, I cannot do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
People are fun. I
So-
like people. I love people.
Obviously, yes. You're
love
helping so many people. It's
And people are good to me. Very, very good to me.
wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Maria.
You're welcome.
All right, big thanks to my special guest, Maria Papapetros. Be sure to check out her meditations on YouTube at the Astana Music website on YouTube. Also her website, mpapapetros.com, and also her social media. Connect with her there. She follows people back at Maria Papapetros. And you can learn more about Astana Music at astana-music.com. We'll see you next time.